The Rock returns at Saturday night's main event, the best and worst of WWE SmackDown. Why Andrade is finally able to wrestle again. Ric Flair is furious. Kevin Owens gets a new major role in WWE amid injury. Randy Orton finally confirms his WWE return date. Cody Rhodes admits he would fire a 40-year-old star if he was the boss. An unfortunate LA Knight update on Vince McMahon's return. Let's dive right in. The best and worst of WWE SmackDown. The latest episode of SmackDown was the go-home show before Saturday night's main event. The atmosphere was thick, and the air was filled with melancholy as John Cena's retirement loomed on the horizon. Amid this, Triple H managed to deliver a decent show from Wilkes Barre that included a championship defense and a mixed tag team match. Friday Night SmackDown has been draped in criticisms lately due to the degrading quality of the show and the lack of substantial elements. Week after week, the same things have been repeating in a loop, making the product monotonous for the fans. It is barely possible to point out any positives, given the substandard position the Blue Brand's show is in. Let's take a look at the best and worst of this week's episode. Number 1. The worst. The non-existent Women's United States Championship. WWE made a huge deal about adding both the United States and Intercontinental titles for its women. The Intercontinental title has been featured throughout the year on Raw. When it comes to the Women's US title, however, it feels nearly non-existent on SmackDown. Julia rarely appeared on programming, and only did so mainly to drop the belt back to Chelsea Green on November 7th. Green has barely been featured on SmackDown due to creative decisions and using her on other brands. Why couldn't they do something with it instead of having Jevon Evans wrestle yet again? Number 2. The best. Confrontation between Cody Rhodes and Obafemi. Apart from John Cena's retirement match, Saturday night's main event will feature 3 exhibition matches, with NXT's rising stars facing off against main roster talents. Unfortunately, there has been no build of those matches. Neither Bayley and Saul Ruka had a face-off, nor did AJ Styles and Dragon Lee have a confrontation with Jevon Evans and Leon Slater. However, the good thing Triple H did this week on SmackDown was having Cody Rhodes and Obafemi in a segment. The NXT champion will battle the undisputed WWE champion at SNME, and it would have been lamentable if they didn't come face-to-face. However, the company did the right thing by making them confront each other on the blue brand. Number 3. The worst. Jevon Evans gets his 4th match of the week. If you haven't got the hint yet, WWE really likes Jevon Evans and wants you to know it. Not only did he win the Men's Iron Survivor match at Deadline last Saturday, but he's also scheduled for Saturday night's main event. Before that, he wrestled for the NXT title on Tuesday and talked himself into a match with The Miz on SmackDown. As exciting as he is, there's such a thing as over-pushing. Couldn't that spot have gone to a different star or feud? The Wyatt Six could have finally defended the WWE Tag Team titles, since they haven't done so since October 10th, against the Street Profits. Evans has already wrestled on Raw and SmackDown this year, and is all over NXT. His effort isn't in question, but WWE's unwillingness to allow someone else the opportunity certainly is. Number 4. The best. Filling SmackDown with John Cena tributes. The biggest highlight heading into Saturday night's main event is John Cena's farewell match, and Triple H did the right thing by keeping it the central focus of the final SmackDown before SNME. WWE featured several tribute videos throughout the show last night to commemorate Cena's legacy and hype the WWE universe about the last ride they are set to have in Washington, D.C. The company played video packages where celebrities sent good wishes to the Cenation leader ahead of his retirement. Michael Cole also ensured to keep the tone of the show emotional and real by highlighting John Cena's decorated career. It was the right move to make the wrestling world sink in that Saturday night's main event would truly mark the end of an era. Number 5. The worst. So much for momentum on SmackDown. Aleister Black has been mixing wins and losses with Damian Priest in his latest feud. Beating him with a fireball in a last man standing match a few weeks back should have ended the angle. As is the case with many of WWE's feuds, the rivalry has gone on too long. Black was gaining momentum as a potential threat and future world champion. Due to sticking with the feud, it hasn't done anything to advance either star. Adding Rhea Ripley to SmackDown after winning at War Games and appearing on Raw was overkill. Beating Black and Vega kills their momentum as a force. WWE could have easily booked the Kabuki Warriors or Nia Jax and Lash Legend to interfere, since Jax and Legend confronted Ripley earlier on SmackDown. That would have protected Mommy and Priest and allowed Black to move forward. Number 6. The best. The Terror Twins winning the mixed tag team match. The main event of SmackDown last night saw an incredible showdown. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley teamed up to battle Aleister Black and Zelina Vega in a mixed tag team match. Both teams gave their absolute best, but it is the Terror Twins that ultimately emerged victorious. Letting Priest and Ripley win was indeed the right call by Triple H. The Archer of Infamy has been struggling to solidify his footing on the blue brand for the past few months. He desperately needed that victory to regain his credibility and get back his momentum. Besides, it wouldn't have been a wise decision to let Rhea Ripley lose, who especially came to SmackDown to aid Damian Priest. Hence, WWE did the right thing by letting the babyface duo win. Number 7. The worst. Cody's rationale for why Drew McIntyre isn't the champion. Nick Aldis invited McIntyre to the show, but he declined, citing an unsafe work environment. As has been the case for most of his title runs, Cody Rhodes opened SmackDown by storming to the ring to address his feud with Drew McIntyre. He claimed the Scottish Warrior wasn't champion because he was half in, meaning he wasn't committed to it 100%. He doesn't show up for the press appearances that champions traditionally do. That logic is flawed because Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar held titles and didn't do press. Rhodes also kept McIntyre from winning the title twice. One time, he got deliberately counted out, and the other, he won by blatantly cheating while the referee was knocked down. It seems like if you have the gold, you can frame the story however you want. Why Andrade is finally able to wrestle again. Andrade El Idolo is finally able to wrestle again after leaving WWE earlier this year. Now, it can be exclusively reported on the reason this is possible. Sources have informed the site that Andrade can wrestle once more from December 13th, and he is set to do so. The star is going to be facing Zavant in the World Wrestling Council in Puerto Rico for the WWC Universal Heavyweight Championship. He's starting off big with the title match, and that could mean he's champion before another 48 hours have passed. This means that the star can wrestle in Puerto Rico starting from December 13th, but only in Puerto Rico. This means no AEW, no Japan, no Mexico, and no other appearances anytime soon. The star had returned to WWE in January 2024 as part of the Royal Rumble match. He was part of a few storylines, but never really a regular part of WWE programming. Eventually, he teamed with Rey Fenix, and it seemed that was the direction planned for him. Unfortunately, he lost the tag team match, and that was his final match in the company. He left the company soon after, when WWE released him. He appeared in AEW in October, but was then taken off TV because his appearance apparently violated a non-compete clause with WWE. There have been reports that his non-compete is up to a year. Ric Flair is furious. Ric Flair sent out a message saying that mentioning his son's name in any way, shape, or form was not allowed. He told Charlotte Flair, calling her Ashley, and referring to her as the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Her mother, her sister, and only close acquaintances were the ones who were allowed to speak about him. The WWE Hall of Famer said that others were not allowed, and was clearly addressing someone, saying that they knew who he was talking about. He said this person was not worth 2 cents, and warned that his son had been more of a man at 25 than this person would be in their entire life. He added that had Reed Flair been there right now, he would have taken care of this person. Mentioning my son's name in any way, shape, or form is not allowed. Ashley, the greatest women's wrestler of all time, her mother Beth, her sister Megan, and very close acquaintances are the only ones allowed to speak about him. You know who I am talking about. You aren't worth 2 cents. Don't ever talk about my son, who was more of a man at 25 than you ever will be in a lifetime. I have my jetpack on, pal. If Reed was here, he would kick your A right now. The WWE legend's son tragically died at a young age and left the legend heartbroken. He died at the age of 25 when he was found in his bed in a residence inn in Charlotte. It was later revealed that he died due to an overdose that contributed to his death. It is not known to whom Ric Flair was addressing this entire message, but the star was furious. Kevin Owens gets a new major role in WWE amid injury. WWE fans have been waiting eagerly for Kevin Owens to make his return from injury. However, the prizefighter has reportedly been given a new role by the Stamford-based promotion amid his hiatus. According to PW Insider Elite, KO and former WWE Divas champion Natalya have been cast as mentors in the 3rd season of WWE LFG. It was earlier reported that the shooting had begun last week. However, the release date has yet to be revealed. WWE LFG is a pro wrestling reality competition series produced by WWE Studios. The contestants are mentored by popular wrestling legends, with the winners getting WWE contracts. The first 2 seasons aired earlier this year, both consisting of 15 episodes. Kevin Owens was scheduled to wrestle Randy Orton at WrestleMania 41. Unfortunately, he had to withdraw his participation due to a serious neck injury. On the April 4th edition of Friday Night SmackDown, KO announced that he would require surgery. Answering an injury-related question asked by Scotty Sprinkle of Short Track Scene, Owens pointed out that it was stressful going into the neck fusion surgery, as they were not sure about the level of severity. The former WWE Universal Champion added that the surgery was successful, but there was no guarantee that the bones would fuse. However, the veteran added that he was hopeful of getting back in the ring in 2026. I did get a neck fusion. It was very stressful going into it because we're not really sure how severe the fusion was going to be and how many levels and all that stuff. And thankfully, it ended up being only 1 level, which was the best case scenario. Surgery was successful, and my doctor says we have to see how the bones fuse, and there's no guarantee that it's going to work. It's how my body heals. Some guys were successful. Fingers crossed I get to come back to wrestling in the next year, Owens said. Only time will tell when Kevin Owens makes his much-awaited return to the squared circle. Randy Orton finally confirms his WWE return date. Randy Orton has been absent from WWE programming for over 2 months. The veteran has now revealed when he will be back in action. The 45-year-old is currently in Riyadh to attend the inauguration of Mr. Beast's Mr. Beastland. In a video going viral on the internet, Orton confirmed that he will make his return by the go-home episode of Friday Night SmackDown before WWE Royal Rumble 2026 at the latest. The multi-time WWE champion noted that tickets for the premium live event and the Blue Brand show scheduled to take place in Riyadh were still on sale. The veteran also confirmed that he would be on both the shows. This is Randy Orton with the WWE. I am at the Grove, and I just want to remind everybody the tickets are still on sale for the Royal Rumble coming here to Riyadh at the end of January. The tickets are still on sale for SmackDown too. So make sure you get your tickets, and I will see you at the Royal Rumble, where I will see you with SmackDown. And I will 100% see you here at the one and only Grove, Orton said. Wrestling legend and Randy Orton's former Evolution stablemate Ric Flair shared his take on the 4-time World Heavyweight Champion's recent booking. While speaking on the Duel 3 coverage podcast, the Nature Boy pointed out that the Viper is a 3rd-generation wrestler. The veteran and opined that in spite of being the best worker in the company, Orton was not getting utilized properly. However, he added that what matters the most is that the SmackDown star is happy and making good money. Randy Orton, he's third generation. Randy is the best male worker in the company right now. They don't utilize him the way I would if I was the booker. But I'm not, so he can still work his ass off. But he's making a lot of money and he's doing good. He's happy, and that's all that matters, Flair said. It will be intriguing to see when the Apex Predator makes his return to WWE programming and what plans the wrestling promotion has in store for him. Cody Rhodes admits he would fire a 40-year-old star if he was the boss. Cody Rhodes came out on SmackDown, and he had only one name to call out, a man with whom he has crossed paths a few times now in his latest reign as undisputed WWE champion. He admitted that he would fire the 40-year-old star if he were the boss. That superstar is none other than the Scottish warrior, Drew McIntyre, who has continued to be a thorn in the side of the undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. McIntyre was also a part of the War Games team that successfully defeated Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and the Usos. On more than one occasion, Rhodes has defeated McIntyre to retain the undisputed WWE Championship. Yet again, for reasons unknown, they look to be set for another clash. Either way, Drew McIntyre wasn't in the building. Allegedly, according to Nick Aldis, and Cody Rhodes said that if he were the Scotsman's boss, he would fire him right then and there. Of course, Rhodes isn't the boss, so there's nothing he can do about it. After this, instead of McIntyre, it was the ruler of NXT, Obafemi, who made an appearance, and the crowd seemed acquainted with him, or at least a very vocal portion of the crowd. The ruler, also known as the Destroyer, formally introduced himself to his opponent at Saturday night's main event, sending a stern warning. Rhodes seemed to dismiss him at first, but Femi held his arm in a tense moment, and the two men raised their titles, ready for an all-out war on Saturday. It was certainly an interesting dynamic to see between Rhodes and Femi, who seem destined to cross paths more than once in their WWE careers. Femi is only 27 years old and is pegged by many as one of the future top stars of the company. An unfortunate LA Knight update. There has been an unfortunate update about LA Knight after he was brutally attacked this past Monday night on WWE Raw. The popular star lost to Gunther in the finals of the Last Time Is Now tournament, and the Ring General will face John Cena in his retirement match tomorrow at Saturday night's main event as a result of the win. According to a new report from Fightful Select, LA Knight was battling through an illness during this past Monday's episode of Raw. The report did not disclose what the illness was, but noted that the megastar was still able to perform earlier this week on the Red brand. A masked man has been assisting the Vision in recent weeks. The mystery man showed up on Raw to help Logan Paul attack Rey Mysterio, and Knight made the save. Knight battled Paul in the main event but lost the match after he was attacked by the mystery star. The Vision then brutally attacked Knight following the match, and he was sent home in an ambulance. Bronson Reed hit the megastar with a tsunami splash on top of a car at the conclusion of this week's edition of Raw. WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray recently shared his thoughts on LA Knight tapping out to Gunther in the finals of the Last Time Is Now tournament. Speaking on Busted Open Radio, the legend stated that Knight should have protected during the match. He suggested that Knight could have passed out instead of submitting during his match against Gunther last week on SmackDown. Maybe we should protect LA Knight in the finish, which they did not. I was very torn by the actual finish. Knight tapped out. Now, here's why I was P. You could have pinned him, but you didn't do that. Or you could have had him pass out to the move, he said. It has recently been rumored that WWE has major plans for Knight in 2026. Only time will tell when the 43-year-old will make his return following the Vision's attack on WWE Raw. Update on Vince McMahon's return. There is an update on Vince McMahon possibly returning to WWE. The former CEO of the sports entertainment giant hasn't been associated with promotion since January 2024, when he resigned from the board after being named in the Janelle Grant lawsuit. WWE has also kept its distance from its former boss, but there has been speculation about him returning for John Cena's farewell match. Cena will wrestle in his last WWE match at Saturday night's main event, and there have been rumors swirling that Vince McMahon and U.S. President Donald Trump could be in attendance for the show in Washington. DC PW Insider Elite has shared an update on the situation. According to the outlet, sources within WWE haven't heard of any plans regarding Vince making an appearance on the show on Saturday. The report mentioned that a source noted they would expect Linda McMahon to be present before Vince, but when it comes to the former WWE owner, you never know with him. As far as Donald Trump being in attendance for the 17-time world champion's farewell, it was mentioned that nobody in the promotion confirmed that he would be present. However, given that the show will be held in DC, other names from U.S. politics are expected to be in attendance. Despite the controversy surrounding him, Vince McMahon is still held in high regard by John Cena. The Never Seen 17 was given his big break by Vince, who pushed him to be the face of WWE. During an appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience, the franchise player addressed rumors of his former boss's return to the company. Cena said that Vince was out of the promotion currently, and he may return in the future if he's forgiven. He, however, noted that such decisions are above his pay grade. The Rock returns at Saturday night's main event. We are only a few hours away from WWE Saturday night's main event. This special show will witness John Cena locking horns with Gunther in his final match. Besides this, Some exhibition matches between NXT and main roster talent are about to take place. Let's look at 4 last-minute predictions for the upcoming SNME show. In this special event, the undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes will face Oba Femi in a champion versus champion match. Femi already defeated Ricky Saints to win the NXT title and eventually got the match against the American Nightmare. Although Oba is a strong star and has defeated major names, Rhodes is still predicted to secure the victory. Rhodes is a world title holder, and there's no doubt WWE will put him over Femi in this exhibition match. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee are set to defend the World Tag Team Championship against Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Although Javon is receiving a major push in the company, SNME is unlikely to feature this title change. Styles and Lee are more likely to retain their World Tag Team titles, especially after the Usos returned to the tag team division and confronted the champions. Also, the rivalry between AJ and Dragon with the New Day is still unfinished. Gunther has already retired Goldberg and defeated him in his retirement match. Given the momentum the ring general has on his side, he is expected to defeat the franchise player in this final bout. The former Imperium leader has already asserted to make Cena tap out at SNME. So, a tragic ending might be waiting for the Cenation leader's fans this Saturday. Ahead of Saturday night's main event, a wild theory is circulating on the internet that suggests The Rock may return at the special show to confront John Cena. WWE has also shared this theory on its official website. At Elimination Chamber, Cena turned heel and sold his soul to the final boss. Around SummerSlam this year, the last real champion became a babyface star, but he has yet to confront the People's Champion. So, a return of The Rock at WWE SNME and not letting Cena retire might unfold at this special event.